Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hello, good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio. A narrow victory at Ibrox for Rangers in the European Conference League qualifier. And a strange game at Ibrox, good, bad and ugly again. But join myself, Fox here, back in the show is Port Bear. Evening, Port.
Evening, mate. I have to concur with your thoughts there, mate. A wee bit underwhelmed, mate. We got underwhelmed, particularly first half.
Underwhelmed, sprinkled with moments, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Sprinkled with good moments and sprinkled with some bad moments. Yeah.
Aye. Very fair, mate.
You know, we started okay, and the big boy up front was causing a bit of problems in the counter-attack. We were too slow moving the ball, Port, yeah? Centre-halves plus the midfield.
Aye, spoke about it the pre-show with you, mate. I felt that was pretty important tonight, was to move the ball quick. First half, I believed Fernandes, Macania and Daniel all guilty of taking too many touches in the ball at times, mate. Sort of slowing it down. It's, in particular Daniel, I don't want to criticise him too much, mate, but I just felt every time, particularly Fernandes and Neil, every time we seem to get the ball, mate, it's 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. I don't know, still trying to find confidence or know what it is, but it's not like take the ball, turn, go. That's what it should be up here. As soon as Fernandes puts into Daniel, he's already on a turn, heading a swivel, and away it goes. But it's not, it's 1, 2 touches. And Fernandes was the exact same at times.
I thought Daniel was pretty anonymous in the first half, mate. He wasn't great and summed up these first few seconds. But I've got to say, the period in the second half, I thought he was my best player, and he played a big part in the goal. It was a lovely ball into your coat, but we'll come to that. But he set his own standard, mate. That's how he's got to play. Anyway, so we huffed and puffed, and we really didn't look like scoring. And we're best. We looked they're likely coming down the left with Penrice, who I thought was our best player over the 90 minutes, if I'm honest. I thought his energy and his engine and his pace going down that wing. Pace that I didn't know he had, mate, if I'm honest. So, but the funny thing was, like Sterling put a couple of good balls in and overlapped, but I couldn't understand what we're trying to do with your quarter, having them inside. Don't know what your take on it was.
No, I was pretty confused myself, mate. At first, in the early part of the game, I thought basically your coat was going to be the one out wide. But when I started seeing Sterling overlapping and your coat having to come in one, it was like, right, maybe they're trying to get him closer to Nadiri just for another threat in the box. Well, Sterling's rampaging down the right, and obviously Penrice was doing the same down the left hand side. But it wasn't really. He wasn't really getting into any positions inside the box, mate. But you could, if Sterling or Penrice could have picked him out. So I don't know. Maybe young lads that have played sort of narrower role. Daisuke, but it is what it is, mate. I just think it was a wee bit disjointed the first half. I don't think the message to me didn't look very clear. And what Eric, the manager said his stall at team about the chat was before the game. And I actually thought the start of the game would have been pretty positive, mate, after the weekend. That's what I expected. I expected a decent lift for the weekend result, and then for us to start the exact same way today. Cause to be honest, I've watched that team. They're nothing special up here.
No. But let's be honest, we're not playing brilliant all this now, mate. There's improvement in the team, and we kept a clean sheet. I thought Fernandes grew into the game, got better as the game went on, but again, in the first half, he put us under pressure, he got booked. And look, defenders will get booked. I get that part, but area in the pitch, yellow card all day long. Just a crazy booking for me.
Puts yourself under pressure right away, and I've got to admit, yeah, he put yourself under pressure right away, and I just felt because his current form, I was like, he's going to get sent off. He's going to get sent off. But like you said, I felt he grew into the game.
He got better in the second half. He handled their centre forward better, but he still caused them problems, mate. You had that one where they were running in the box, near the death, and Fernandes got back a bit and defended along with Pandor. Now, there's an argument that he was man of the match because he done nothing wrong with the goalkeeper, did he? Nothing.
No. Start position was always excellent. That again, like I was talking about earlier on, sweeper keeper takes pressure right off the defence right away, and when he was called upon, mate, he was solid.
Right, so we huffed and puffed. We hit the post. Yeah. I thought the boy was unlucky. Yeah, it came to him. But also, for me, the Dairy's got to do better. The Dairy's got to do better with that one that is flashed across the box, mate. Yeah. There's no way he can put it. He can be there. He's just got to be half a yard, mate. He's got a tap in it.
His movement was excellent. He goes in and he goes out and then he goes in again. And I just think if he just takes that, when he goes back out, if he takes that wee step less back and be more determined to get to that front post, he's got a tap in. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to take in away from big man tonight. Like I said to you, pre-show, I thought it was going to be very important tonight because the boy ran his socks off in Yorkshire and he got the important goal.
I do think some of the criticism and observation there is because it looks gangly. It will skip through the first half, going to the second half. We started the second half a lot better. We gets the goal, mate. It was a lovely goal, mate. Well worked, and you've got to say, mate, to pick your quarter out with that ball, with Neil, it's a brilliant ball because it's not as if he's a giant. He's intelligent enough to put it back and big the game. David gets himself a tap in, mate.
I actually thought Daniel was setting himself up to shoot, if I'm honest, mate. I thought he's going to try to be colouring the top corner, but his noise, like you touched on, in the second half, he grew into the game. Daniel got a wee bit higher up the pitch. I'm still undecided where his position is yet, here, but with delivering quality like that, because as you said, the wee fellas at the back post, it's not like Ryan Deary at the back post. You'd expect it to be about Ryan Deary going to the back post to head it across for like your coat a bit tapping. But the wee man's done well and never snapped at it and charged at it to try and get it back on target himself. We see the break put it inside net and he's got it back across and the Davy's got a tap in, mate, to put it in the net and puts Rangers ahead. So no, the build up was great, mate. I've got to admit the build up was nice. And that's the way we should start the first half. Maybe we start the second half.
Mm-hmm. So we get to goal, and then there's a moment. There's a couple of moments changed games, mate. Gassama's missed, mate. What's your take on it?
Oh, mate. All he's got to do, the pace, Ryan Adair's done well because the ball's actually played a wee bit behind him and he's dragged it to keep the momentum going. And then he's not fizzed it across, he's put it across at a decent pace to put it across. And all Gassama's got to do, in my opinion, mate, he doesn't need to throw his foot at it. He's just got to guide that home. He's just got to come off his foot, caress it, put it in it, mate. The speed and the pace that's on the ball, for me, it's a bad miss, mate.
Don't disagree, mate. And then the big talking point, mate, never noticed it a first time around. When I seen the replay, I'm thinking, he's going to have, don't know what you thought.
Initially my thoughts were, I was wondering what the defender was holding his leg for, and I was like, I actually thought the defender fouled Devlin. And you see all the sort of confusion. He's walking towards the screen. I thought, Rangers penalty, maybe? Or foul, maybe on the edge of the box, I don't know. And then when the refs checked it, I started to see the replay that's getting slowed down. I thought, wow. Look, I understand it can't be.
I don't think it was deliberate, mate. I don't think it was deliberate. I think he's putting his foot out to lean back to bring the ball running in front of him. Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. But when you catch somebody that high up in the leg, mate,
What he never done, mate, was get his backside in. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to roll him. He's trying to roll him and to draw the foul. But he can't just stick your leg out here. And this is not a criticism by him. I'm not having a dig. I'm just saying, if just he needs to get his backside across before he sticks that leg out and then take the roll or take the hit, and it gets a foul. But when you see it, mate, and anyway, anywhere above that ankle bone now, especially a straight leg, there's only one result, and you're going off, which puts you under pressure immediately.
Aye. All right, mate. And then the game petered out, mate. There was bits and pieces. If Raskin's on the bench, mate, and he's no fit, it was a strange one. He never get near getting on, mate. So if he's no fit, I don't understand him being on the bench. But there you go. He didn't get on. I think we missed him at times. He was always substitute, but we still seen the game out. So congratulations to the defence and the goalkeeper, clean sheet. Right, before we'll get the phone lines opened, and then I'll come back to you for your reports. Man of the match, yes.
Okay, mate. Yep, cool.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay then, mate. Man of the match.
I found it difficult. I'm good boys. I found it difficult to split two players in particular. But I'm going to, because the clean sheet and we've not won for a wee while, I'm going to go with Macania, mate. I think the big man was absolutely solid in it again. Absolutely solid. And I don't think,
right.
I think he's not been far away from that.
I've been joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
Oh, mate, I'm disgusted tonight, mate. Disgusted.
Go on then, mate.
Absolutely shocking tonight, mate. Shocking.
It wasn't great, mate, but I've seen us play better and lose, and I've seen us play worse and win, mate. It was no classic, mate. It was no classic.
Mate, honestly, if AK's in the night, mate, put AK on, that was shocking tonight. Shocking behaviour.
Put him on. Have you seen AK run?
It's honestly, mate, bad tonight, mate. Sorry. McInnes needs to go.
Oh, don't be so silly, Ross. He's always won his last two games. We'll get players coming into the club. A guy made his debut tonight. We've kept our first clean sheet. Yeah, we a silly sending off. We've seen the game out with 10 men. What, you know?
All right, Ross, how you doing, mate? No,
Hi, bro.
I get your frustration, Ross, but you know, we've had a poor start to the season, mate, and I think over the last two results, got to take, first of all, we're 5-1, scored 5 goals against St Mirren, and we've got a clean sheet tonight. So I wanted the strikers at the weekend, and a wee win for the defence tonight. That's we're at the second leg, mate. We're a goal ahead. I know it's not ideal, and I know you're probably you're obviously unhappy with the performance tonight, mate. But I tried to take a positive out it, mate, as I says. And what I'm going to say to you is, like Ox touched on there, there's a debutant tonight there. It's still a very young, inexperienced team. They hardly know each other. They're still getting to know each other, still trying to build them relationships.
Nice.
You know what I mean, mate? It's just, I think we've got to be patient with it, mate. You got to give Gaffer a bit of time. You got to give him a bit of time, mate. Honestly, just stick by him. Stick by him.
Win his next two games, mate, and we'll turn the corner. I agree with you tonight. It wasn't a classic, Ross, but we've seen worse games of football. We hit the post. If you're honest, Gassama missed a sitter. So we could have been sitting 3-0 up before the sending off, mate. Goals changed games. We never took our chances, and they were two big moments. What?
Aye, 100%.
I've got to say that. Anyway.
Here's Ross. Aye, I mean, I get it, wasn't it? It was no classic, mate. I'm not kidding anybody on saying we were outstanding tonight. We weren't, but we played a lot better, and no one, mate.
Aye, that's true, mate. That's true. As I say, the Gassama miss puts the team under pressure, mate, as well. And then, lo and behold, you said the sending off just compels that even further, because then you're going, right, here we go. 15 minutes nearly, try and see this game out. You know, see even after that, sure, I thought certainly Curtis had a wee chance after that as well. We sort of broke and we got a corner for a game. I think we were pretty wasteful at a corner. I think we were wasteful on a few set pieces tonight, especially with the height we've got in the team. But mate,
We don't look
I'm
near
going to
it.
just
We don't look near it as set pieces, mate. You
nah.
know, when you've got the Dairy, you've got McCann, you've got
Fernandez,
mate. We don't look close to it. We've no threatened. We've no looked like threatening.
No, in particular when you think Fernandez last season was an absolute threat in both boxes. He went on a wee sort of purple patch where he was scoring. He just looked dangerous every time he was in the opposition's box. And I couldn't tell you last time he won a header, mate, in the opposition box. You know, all right, people might be setting up different and marking him well, but he's 6'7", mate. He's a big lad, he's a big unit. I mean, he was powering through people last season and getting on end of the ball with set pieces. One of your strengths, and I know that set piece coach is there anyway. And I don't know if they've brought an one back in.
But they have.
So we're definitely not utilising the size of our squad, mate. As you said, we've got Nadiri, Macania, Fernandez. Sterling's a unit as well. Sterling's a threat in there.
Well, at least Sterling at the back
took
there,
one,
because he's
so they are.
pace. Yeah,
Jablonec decent there as well, but we've got, as you say, we've got targets here, mate. We've got targets. We should be, I don't know, maybe, it's only my opinion, we should be stronger in set pieces, in my opinion, anyway.
Well, come and join us, give your thoughts. Look, I agree with Ross. It wasn't a classic, but look, we're coming out of the crisis now. We've won our last two games. It's about now winning the next two games, mate. Yeah.
It's just one game at a time, Ox. It's right now. I'm in a position where it's one game at a time, and the managers, right? You couldn't hit it. Gustavo missing that, and then Devlin getting set up, and he has to go and change it again, change your formation, change yourself. It brings on Jadenovic, part of that defensive unit, just to try and stiffen things up at the back as well, mate. And manager reacted, mate, for what he's supposed to do. He's done it.
We can't judge Costa tonight, right?
No.
For a start, he could take a throw in, and that one run he done after the ball down the wing showed he's got pace, mate.
You get pace. I seen that, and he's a unit, another unit, mate. He's big. He's a big lad. So I totally agree. Nothing seen yet, but he's definitely got pace. He'd throw a ball, which all night I thought his throw-ins for the opposition night were terrible. I thought I've seen about 5 or 6 foul throws tonight. I don't know what the referee was looking at, but nah, just time walks sharing it. I think what had happened was the ref was hurrying him because this new 5-second rule, and I think he's got to the 4 and he's tried to, and it's went just all the power came with it. Unlucky.
Yeah, that's 2 wrong throws we've tried in the last 2 weeks against European. Shanklin got dug up for taking too long. And I said, well, somebody, if we've got a set piece, coach, they better know the rules and tell them, mate.
Aye. Because, as I said, that's definitely what caught Penrice out. Because I did see the ref say to him, move, get it going. And he's tried to hurry it. And then he get it beyond the yard box.
Put you on the spot, mate. Penalty, sending off, yes or no?
Say that again?
Just putting you on the spot, mate. Sending off.
Right.
What do you think, yes or no?
Cammy Devlin's.
Yeah.
In the current climate of football, mate, it's a red card. It's a straight leg and it's high, so it's dangerous. It's a send off, mate. Send it off.
All right, fair enough. I don't disagree, mate. Yeah, I think he was a wee bit unlucky. Yeah.
Aye. There was no malice in it. I don't think it was it was a crunching tackle, wasn't it? He's meant that. His body position was just all wrong, mate, and he's tried to get a touch to the ball, and unfortunately, that straight leg, he's caught the defender. He never meant it. and I heard Kevin Thompson mention it during the commentary. He felt it was a wee bit harsh because he's not meant it, but the rules of the game, as we know, enter above that ankle and also with a straight leg, you're riding your luck if you get caught doing that, mate. You know what I mean? They're almost trying to outlaw. There's one in particular as well, the second half, where Daniel goes in and he wins the ball, in my opinion.
Aye,
Because he goes to ground. Aye. Because he goes to ground, it's a foul now. I mean, that's just like, I'm watching that today. I used to love them challenges, especially on a wet night, you know. I'm just going, no, football's changing, mate. Football's changing.
And actually after that, Daniel, he was actually that up to that period he was running the show in the second half, mate. He was, if I'm being honest, that was his best period playing in the team, mate, in my opinion.
Best sort of best what 25 minutes I've seen him in a Rangers shirt, and if that's what we can expect when he's fully fit, I don't think he's fully fit yet. But if that's what we can expect when he's fully fit, then I think we can be slightly more happy tonight watching his captain's role, his discipline tonight. I know he was quiet the first half, but as I said, as the game went on, and his experience was sort of coming through, and it was coming through, mate, because I seen him barking orders and he was constantly organising, which I enjoyed tonight as well. But he was very vocal in that midfield tonight. So, and as I said, the second half we got to see something different for him. We've not seen that creative sort of side of him. I've not seen him. Like, I doubt that. Like, in the first part of the show, I said to you, the thing I thought he lacked was legs, but he got about that pitch, pretty well for that sort of 20, 25 minute period, mate, where he got the assist for the goal, you know what I mean, for Daisuke to turn a D's goal. So I thought I enjoyed that 20, 25 minutes for me, I've got to admit.
Yeah, right up to that, that sending off. Yeah, sorry, right up to the booking, it didn't work for him. And I understand when you're being booked and you play in the middle of the park, it only takes a toe in, mate, and you're off the pitch. So there was sense in the substitution, yeah.
Aye. Actually, I know a lot of fans have been critical because he's been taken off at half time and the 60-minute marks, and people were all saying, can this guy actually play a full game? But I thought his work rate, his effort tonight was there. I think it was like I just wish he needs to be a bit brave on the ball, mate. See what like he was in that second half. Be brave, get a wee bit higher up the pitch. Because I accused him in the first part of the show of being safe, and that's where he was the first half. He was just being his usual safe self, sitting in that sort of just dictating play, just left to right with real penetration, and that frustrates your life because I'm always like, God, let us see, you give another 20 yards forward, and you go a wee bit higher. And it showed when we got in that first 10 minutes of the second half, we got a wee bit higher, we got a wee bit closer, midfield and front line, a wee bit closer, and things happen. Actually, if you move the ball quick and you move the ball, forward at times instead of going side to side all the time. But that's just me. I know I'm a wee bit maybe being overcritical here, but in my opinion, if you move the ball quick and you're a wee bit higher up the pitch, things open for you.
I've gave Penrice man of the match, mate, and it wasn't for what he done, particularly on the ball, mate, but some of his running to take players away and doing that left, mate, and he's galloping for 40 yards and busting a gut doing that wing, mate. And then the pleasing thing is he's then back in position, mate. So Romans has got competition for his place, eh?
Box to box, mate, and like I said, I can't believe the guy's only been in a club less than a week. He made his debut the weekend against St Mirren, played the full match, and he was marauding up and doing that, as you said, box to box. Marauding up and doing that, getting back in position, never goes missing, always looking for the ball, brave, taking the ball and getting into that other opposition box as well. Good left peg, good delivery. And I don't know, I think you're right, mate. Romans may have a battle, but that's the battles I want to see. I want two players at that level next year. They're going to compete with each other to get into that team because that breeds a winning mentality. Because right away, but the winning starts by winning your shot. So that'll breed a good, winning mentality between Romans and Penrice. And who's to say at times you might not need, you might be able to use two of them, Penrice in front of Romans or vice versa. And I think by the looks, I know it's early. Nadenovic on the other side will push Stirling like that as well. So I think in the fallback areas, and I think about Nadenovic, he's only 20 as well, mate. So I'm excited about the fact he's only 20. It looks to me like he's got running power, like we touched on as well. So in the fallback positions, we've went for being pretty weak and worried to we're looking pretty strong up here.
I've got to say, Stirling, I didn't think he had a real quiet game on Sunday, and I think he had a real quiet game tonight. And within that, I'm giving him a compliment, mate, because he done everything that was asked for him. Very little mistakes. Got forward a couple of times. It was there. An outstanding performance, but quite a bit effective, mate. Yeah, mate, it wasn't outstanding, but just done his job, looked a bit better. And obviously, the good thing is that all of a sudden he's played 3 games in a row, mate.
Yeah,
which we'll pick up on, yeah.
I'll say it, Stirling, mate. You know, and Fox will probably appreciate me saying this. When James Tavernier left the club, and we always said this on the show, Fox mentioned it a few times. Sometimes you never know what you've not got until it's away. And obviously you're taking all them assists and all them goals out of the team when Tav played. But now you've got a different type of fallback at the moment with Stirling. Stirling's never going to be a Tav. He's never going to create all the assists and get goals. But in certain games, yeah, you need you need a fallback like Stirling, somebody that's going to defend his area, defend his box, and just stiffen that right side up. Sometimes that's going to be required. But like I said, I think Nadenovic, he's not coming to sit on the bench, mate. That boy, I think I seen his interview during the week as well when he first signed as well, and I thought, because he's positive, he's hungry, and you heard the manager talking about it pre-show as well. He chose to come here. He had other options. He chose to come to Rangers, so that boy's hungry. Just like Penrice was, he wanted to come to Rangers. Penrice was desperate to get to Rangers, and it shows you in Penrice's play. He looks like he wants to be here. He's been dying to play for Rangers, mate, and that's the way Nadenovic said in that interview as well. He's just desperate to get his career going again, and he's going to get his career going here at Rangers. Then I'll be happy, mate. As I said, we've got an option to buy. It's not one of these needless loans. It's not one of these loans we've got no option on. We've got a chance that we can actually buy this guy if all goes well.
Aye, obviously. We'll judge him. We've now got a week before we play our next game. We've got a chance to refresh. And then all of a sudden we could have Godfrey back as well, and then the defence, the centre looks a bit stronger, or you've got options there. McCann, he's first choice, I would think. Yeah, and then there's maybe competition between Godfrey and Fernandez, mate.
Aye, McCann again, mate, just in the door. He came for the MLS, which, you know, depending who you speak to, some people say the league's very poor, some people are saying it's a growing league, and it's, you know, some people saying the players we get there, they're decent. In particular, I think McCann's put a foot wrong yet, mate. And I know he made that. The penalty they tried to get at the second half, I think it was a penalty at all, mate. I thought McCann just used his body like he did anywhere else in the pitch and just sort of ushered the row. I know he did. I seen him pointing, mate. I seen him pointing. But I'd like to think, if it never was offside, I'd like to think Barbara stepped in there and you know, sorted that. You know what I mean? I'd like to think, but I'm not sure. No, definitely not. But as I said, Big McCann has not put a foot wrong, mate. Again, like he's pacey, strong, and I even like him stepping out with the ball, mate. And it's just him playing on the opposite side for usually plays. You know what I mean? He's on that left side, he's right footed. I've seen him pass with his left foot. He looks pretty comfortable with both feet, actually. I think we've got a bit of cracker there, mate. And I do agree with you. I think due to Fernandez's form, and I know he got better in the second half and got into this game today. Obviously, Godfrey's there, and if Godfrey's fit, mate, again, competition for places. It's between McCann, Fernandez, and Godfrey. It's up to them three who's in the door at the moment, who'll take them 2 places.
Aye. Look, mate, in the circumstances, it wasn't great. We get the goal, we went for another goal. We played, what was it? I don't know the minutes. It was a good half an hour, approximately half an hour. with 10 men. So at that time, I think the funny thing is, I think before the sending off, they would have took 1-0, and after the sending off, we would have took 1-0.
Aye, 100%. Even see late on in the second half, I thought they were already starting to sit in even then, Oxford. I thought they were already, either having a breather, 1-2. But there's spells in the game where I felt, they were there for the taking, especially when we kicked off the second half, sorry. And we got at them right away, and we got the goal in the 50th minute. I thought, right, they actually looked deep in their feet, and we were controlling the match very, very comfortably. But we just didn't seem to find that extra gear night like we did at the weekend. And I think it was.
But would you get the extra
years
gear
ago.
the extra gear if the one that hits the post goes in and Gassama scores, mate?
Well, that gave you the big lift, didn't it? If Dragovic scores his goes up inside of the post, it runs along the line and goes out. Usually if it's out inside the post, it's in. But we man's unlucky again. If that goes in, it's just complete different. First half, tails are up, fans are going, a lot of positivity about the stadium. But because it was sort of huffed and puffed, they go off and there's a wee bit of booing about the stadium and a wee bit of negativity. But the gaffers got them in the second half, got them organised, mate, and they got in, and they get the goal in the second half.
Second half. We did improve the second half up to the second half, yeah.
We definitely did. He's in there, had a word and tweaked a few wee things. And as I said, Daniel's a wee bit further forward. Daniel gets the assist because because of that. And Nadir gets a goal, mate. So he definitely the wee sort of tweaks that he made in the team definitely seemed to work up until the sending off. And then it was a case of, right, let's keep this clean sheet. The rest of the, keep the discipline, keep the communication going, which we're always talking about. And I thought for the sending off till the end of the game, I thought we were very disciplined, mate.
Pandor didn't have a save, did he? We kept our shape. We went to a 4-4-1. The two wide men, Finlay Curtis, came on and hustled. By the way, I thought he was a wee bit unlucky when he got brought down. I think he was looking to maybe play Penrice in at some point. What a run again for the boy Penrice. Nice bit of skill with Finlay again, yeah.
Yep. And he broke inside me. I thought he was going to get, as you say, I thought he was going to just play Penrice straight in, but obviously he's fouled, you know what I mean? But that was the other thing, sort of a game we've lost, talks here. See when we get a free kick when Finlay gets brought down outside the box and obviously Penrice stepped up to get that ball at the back post for 1 centre half. There's nobody of a right fit in that team that could have a pop at goal at that stage of the game. We just seem to have lost somebody that can take a free kick, mate. Somebody that's going to be confident enough to go up and have a crack at goal. I don't know who's the free kick specialist in the team now. Dragovic. See, I think he was off at that point, was he not though?
All right. I
think he was off at that point. Aye. I just felt it was a chance to get a pop at goal, mate, and we're looking for that back post, and like we touched on earlier on, we're not finding guys in the box at the moment. For set pieces.
No. But let's be fair to Penrice, but he's taking most of them. He's only on the door. He's after the training session, yeah.
Aye. Corners each side, all the set pieces are in the box. And he's bombed up on that left hand side.
Mate. I don't like the swingers.
No. I always say there's nothing better than getting somebody on the keeper and putting it right and tapping him. I love putting them under putting the keepers under pressure. I say, in particular with the strength we've got in the box, or we should have in the box, we should be putting it in tap our defences every chance we get with the height we've got in that box and be very aggressive. But we're passive. I think we're passive box here. The set pieces.
Are you saying we should whip it harder?
Aye. 100%. Yep. Because you're getting the keeper a chance to come for it. You're getting defence every bit of impetus, aggression to come and clear the lines. You're not getting your guys. You're making it harder for your guys. You know what I mean? Get it whipped in. You should know. You should be working on it all week. You should be knowing the areas you guys are going to be in anyway. You'll be working on it. You'll be watching the movements during the week. You'll be working on that for hours during the week. And I don't know, mate. I couldn't tell you last time I've seen us win a either for a corner that we've got a shot on target for, or a free kick about the box. I couldn't tell you, mate, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be. Oh, obviously, they're talking about maybe Asgard stuff. I mean, he never go on the night. Man, did Raskin? Am I reading too much into it, mate?
The Raskin one, I do think there's something going in the back room with that, mate. But when the manager says pre-show in the interview that the wee man took an injection after the game, that set off alarm bells for me, because it's something I don't usually do nowadays. Is these injections, or they try and stay away from it anyway. So I think they're just wrapping him up in cotton wool, mate, because they're hoping obviously a big offer's going to come in for him. And I think Asgard's played himself back out the team, actually, if I'm honest. I think he's played himself back out the team. So I just don't think he's shown enough again in the last couple of games.
I get it, mate.
It's very, very frustrating.
Aye, listen, mate, I think he's a number 10. I don't think he can play wide at all. That's the problem, mate. I think, in my opinion.
That's what I mean. And then you've got, when they're playing Chukwani in there, they're relying on Chukwani's running power and ability to win the ball and his strength, and be part of that sort of three in there. Whereas if you play Asgard in that role, you lose that right away. You're a big lump of boy too, but you absolutely lose the running power of Chukwani getting box to box. You lost that right away. And then Gassama's form on that at the moment is, he's playing more like Gassama that we've seen burst into the scene last season, where he was positive and really being a threat in that left hand side. So it's going to be tough for Asgard to get back in a teammate at the moment. Well, we're playing certainly that formation there, because could you not? It's only my opinion, mate. I don't think you can rely on Asgard to be one of your three in the system we're playing right now.
In the midfield?
Aye.
Oh, no, I don't think so, mate. And I'll tell you why, mate. There's no defensive bone in his body, and you've got to work as a unit, and he's a maverick. Yeah?
Aye, that's what I'm getting at, yeah. That's what I'm getting at. So he's not going to get in front of Chukwani or whoever it may be, because as I said, you're touching on, they are working as a unit at times, because you've seen Dragicevic at times in the six, and then Chukwani, Neil, but they were rotating quite a lot, and particularly the second half as well. So they're obviously working as a wee unit together in that sort of wee area, just making sure there's always cover, and there's always, like, Chukwani and Vanya were playing almost like 10s, 2 10s in it at times, obviously, when we're going forward. But also, they know they've got a job behind them today as well. And that takes this discipline as well, and that takes, a lot of communication, because they've also got a bit he's in a swivel as well, to make sure they're not leaving their duties behind them and forgetting about, getting forward. But I've got to admit, I did enjoy Dragicevic's performance in it again, mate. I thought, considering how poor the performance was, again, he's a sort of wee positive light for me again, because I'm seeing Murphy again running power. I'm seeing his enthusiasm, his youthfulness to get on the ball, and he's turning into these late runs. He's making it the edge of the box, mate, and getting shots on target. That's a good habit, Oxshire. As long as he keeps getting these positions, goals will come for him.
One of the things for me, mate, I think they were getting all over the pitch, and that's enthusiasm. Sometimes less is more, yeah. And I'm what I mean by that in your shape, mate. But I get it when you're 20 years of age and you think you can run all day, yeah. And then you're out of position, and then you've got to double the running, and then somebody looks up for a pass and you're not there. By the way, I thought there was a couple of good passes out from left to right in the first half, mate. But I think if we're going to play Yokota, mate, we have to get him further up the park when he gets the ball, and that's where he causes all the problems.
I seen the gaffer in first half particular. I seen the gaffer constantly telling him that message, mate. I seen McInnes out at the touchline, and there's your coat had drifted down to almost like halfway. Like I seen McInnes telling Stirling to push up, and he's telling your quota to get further up the park. You know, as I said, we used to say something about Ryan Kent at times, dropping in too deep and getting lost in the midfield, and sometimes that comes with frustration with wingers, wide players, because they're not getting on the ball and they want on the ball, so they sometimes drop deeper. They come inside to try and get involved. Nowadays, they cause congestion and they kill the space. So I think Derek was trying to do, he was trying to get, you know, your quota wide as possible and as high as possible, because you see the effect he had for the goal. He gets right in behind the last defender and touches the ball back across, needs quality, and we get the goal from it. So that's the same. His quality comes in the final third of the pitch.
Yeah. Can I say that's one of the things you mentioned, killing the space, mate? That's one of the things I've liked about Penrice. You maybe not get a good view of him. I'll maybe discuss it with Southside when I speak to him, that when he goes inside and he goes outside, he seems to make the right choices off the ball.
Aye, yep. Nah, that's fair, mate. That's a cracking observation, because tonight I seen a mixture of inverted runs as well as his runs down the outside. You know, and if only for just a better pass, a better final pass to him when he was making them inverted runs, mate. At times he was in between the centre half and the right fullback. The big space was there, so it's always something they've been looking at. That big space in between their centre back and the right fullback. Because Penrice made a good few crack runs in that inverted side tonight, and as I say, just not only for a bit more quality, finding them in them inverted runs, then you know he'd have been right in and goal, mate. I know I'm enjoying James Penrice, mate. I'll give him a wee special mention. He's a better player than I thought he was. I'll tell you right now, he's a better player than I ever give him credit for. I didn't realise the quality that he's got, mate.
No, fair play to him. First impressions, very good. Listen, we'll just give a shout out to people who want to join us for the last few minutes. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. Listen, there'll be a few people we know. A wee soiree in Glasgow tomorrow night. Can I just pass on congratulations? The Kinnan Park Loyal have reached 50 years as a supporter person, still going strong. We're having a wee celebration tomorrow night, and I hope everybody associated with the club has a great evening tomorrow night. I'm sure they will. Listen, we've got to take positives out of a great performance. Clean sheet, positive, Port.
100%, mate. 100%. Aye, definitely. It's been a long time, mate. Long time coming.
Clean sheet, positive. The way we've seen it the game with 10 men, positive.
Aye, yep. We showed a bit of fighting spirit and a bit of dig, mate, to get that positive result to take away on an important, European tie to get to the group stages, mate.
Penrith, McCannia, Costa making his debut, Adiri getting a goal, all positives.
Yep. All boys that still to make a difference for the club right now. And long may it continue, mate.
Pandor is part of the back four, keeping a clean sheet, positive. Fernandez, bit of improvement second off. No saying he was great, mate. He still gave a loose ball away midway through, yeah.
Pandor, mate. Maybe people start realising his quality when they start paying a bit more attention to his distribution and his footwork and what he offers us as an attacking threat for the back. Because again, didn't very rarely wasted the ball tonight for his distribution for his feet. There was actually a nice pass he made to Gassam out on the left. when he tried to hit him first time on a counter, mate, and he found Gassama right to his feet. And that's the quality I'm talking about with Pandor. And as I said, the few saves that he make with his hands makes it look easy, mate. Makes it look easy for me.
Aye, we seen him when he came in caught. He punched the ball in the night. Yeah, what height do you reckon is? About 5'4" or something?
Aye, mate. Maybe a wee bit bigger. A wee bit bigger. A wee bit bigger. I said that at the first part of the show. He's a puncher, mate, and I don't mind a puncher as long as he punch clear, and he did that. So again, that's another positive. And just touch on Fernandez, he done the same. He in the second half in particular, especially getting that early booking, which put him under pressure. I thought Fernandez grew into the game and looked more assured.
Aye, listen, I've been very critical. I didn't think he was great in the first half. Crazy booking for a defender. You know, nothing influenced the game. There was no defending involved. He just had to stand him up, keep the right side of him, go suckered in, made a rash challenge, 70, 80 yards for his own goal, mate. Got himself put. Yeah. Anyway, we've been joined by Jim for the Port, who lives in Surrey. Evening, James.
Hello, how are you?
All the better for hearing your dulcet tones.
It's been a long time. Well, I think that we've got 11 new players, and I think they're all quite really good players, and it's only a matter of time when they all start to gel and get together and start playing the attractive football that we've just been seeing in sort of small scenarios. But I think it's going to get better.
I hope you're right, mate. Who's impressing you then?
Well, let's start with some of the players that we started with. And I think that Gassama, I thought he had a better game tonight than he's had for a long time. And I think that the other new players that are coming in, them young boys, you know, the hard ones to pronounce, you know, the guy with a D at the start of his name, I think he's a bit special. And I think the centre back, the American centre back, can't remember. I think he starts with an M. I think he was quite good. I think Fernandez is on a sticky wicket. I think his hook is on a jiggly peg. But Pandur, yep, excellent. Young Penrose coming in, brilliant. There's so much going on at the moment, which is really, really quite good. So I just think it's going to take a bit of time. And I think that if we get to the season and we've got 5 finals to play, I think this team can do it. Because last year, they couldn't do it.
Port Bear.
How you doing, Jim? Good to hear you on, my man.
Yeah, not bad, Port. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, thank you. Good to hear you on. I can't disagree, Jim. The boy you're talking about, Dragovic, he's Vanya. That helps you remember. Aye. I think for a young boy at 20 and he's in his early career at Rangers, we know how difficult it is to come to Rangers and put your stamp down. And certainly the last 2 games we've seen, it gives you a lot of excitement because obviously his youthful exuberance and his play and his style. He's certainly a lot. I said to Oxford earlier on, when I was speaking to him, he showed me a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So I'm the same as you, mate. I'm pretty excited by young Serbian boys. So, but also Penrose and Macania, the South African centre back that's just come into America. They're all doing well. But like you said, Jim, for the amount of changes that's been made to this squad, and there's still new ones to come in, I think we've just got to call for a bit of patience because people maybe have no idea how difficult it is to settle a team down, get a team to gel, we're talking guys from all over the world here. You know, we're coming from different leagues throughout Europe, throughout the world, through the continent, and it just can't happen overnight. And we've got a new gaffer as well. We all different new ideas for the previous management. They're trying to set a new standard. They're trying to set, you know, better character at the club in a whole different direction for what's been going previously. And I think the early signs, and I know we had a poor start to the start of the league, but certainly over the last 2 games, we're starting to see something. We're starting to see the start of something. And that's what that's the best way I can put it across. It's early and it's difficult for the manager and the players. We just have to call for a wee bit of patience, I think.
We looked a wee bit fitter tonight, Jim, I think, at the end. The 10 men, we showed up the level of fitness that was maybe been there, the way we harried and chased and worked as a team. You know, to do all the things you need to be fit. So I was reasonably pleased with that.
Yeah, I fully agree what you're saying and what Portbear said. I think it's going to take a bit of time. The good thing is that a lot of the players that they brought in have got age on their side. You know, they're quite young. I think Derek McInnes is the right man for the job, and we've got to give him the time. And we can't go any longer by changing managers. Although we never changed managers. Our managers in the past have always been there for a long, long time because they were seen as the right people for the job. But we've been over the years now, recently, we've been sacking managers left, right and centre who've been trying to do the best for the club, and it hasn't worked out for them. And it's been shown at the start here that it hasn't really worked out. It hasn't been a fantastic start for Derek McInnes. And at the end of the day, you've got to give people a chance. And he's brought in he's brought in a whole new team. And they've got to gel, they've got to get to know each other. And I think over time, it will happen. I think it will happen. And I think that these new players, as I say, they're young, but they've still got great experience. Some of them are captains of their teams abroad. So they've got experience in being in positions of responsibility. I can see that there are shoots of more expectation from these players. I can see something that's going to happen, and it might not be until the middle of the season that we see the fruits of this whenever we get to near the top of the league and be the top of the league. And I think that's when we will appreciate more what's being done. The Americans have brought in. They've spent a lot of money.
I hope you're positive.
Spent a lot of money. Yeah, Oxford. The Americans have spent a lot of money here. A lot of money.
Aye, they are. They might have speculated, but if somebody goes out the door for a big price, mate, that'll cover it. Possibly. But they've brought in. I know he's paid out, I think, an awful lot of money. Something that we could never ever imagined would happen, and it's only because of that American coming in and putting his money where his mouth is, and he expects to get a return. And he's not been slow in saying, okay, we need a left back, a right back, so somebody's injured, let's get him in. So that is really, I think that's really something special that this American guy has got it in his head that if something is a problem, he'll spend the money and he'll do his best to support Derek to actually achieve success at a club. So I'm hopeful. I've got faith that we've got a chance this season. Maybe not to win everything this season. That might happen later. But once all these players get gelled and get to play with each other, know each other, and work as a team together,
it's going to happen. This is when it's going to happen now.
I so hope you're right, Jim, and that's no slutty Ross port, because obviously we've not had a great start. The results haven't been good, the performances haven't been good, but we've won the last 2 games. Let's win the next 2 and see what it takes us, mate.
Aye, that's all you can do. You always say on here, we can only critique what we're seeing. So I think right up to the game so far, the shows I've listened to, the shows I've been involved with, I think we've critiqued pretty honestly, mate. I don't think we've been overcritical, and I don't think we've, overhyped the team in any way at all. And that's including individual, criticism and on players and stuff and that as well, and praise. I think we're always very fair on here. I have to say, I have to agree with Jim, mate. I just hope people understand out there that teams just can't gel overnight. It's never happened obviously in football's lifetime that you just buy a load of players, especially like we bought, and it just the next game you show up and it gets better and better and better and better. That never happens. It never happens. The other good positive thing is we're buying players, as Jim touched on, all roughly a youthful age, but they're all about the same age next year. So what I'm hoping is as well is this team is the progress and their experience with each other. They're all going to be roughly about the same age constantly. So they're going to gel and grow with each other and grow with the club, grow with the manager. And if we can keep this squad together and I still believe, Rovies agree, boys, I still think we need experience and we need a bit of, real quality. We're seeing quality right now, but I mean added quality. I still think we need a wee sprinkle of that through the team. But we're not far away, I don't think, next year. I have to agree with Jim, but as I say, we'll critique each game as it comes. And for me right now, I'm at 1 game at a time.
Right, Jim, we've reached that time of the evening. We're going to wrap up. Last word for your good self, and I've got to say, mate, fantastic to hear from you.
Yes, I'm sorry I was so long away, but it was probably because of the depressing displays at the end of last season that I sort of gave up all faith in it, But I think things are changing. But I believe that the changes that are happening now through the American, if we'd have had that, if we'd have had that, say about 10 years ago, we wouldn't be in this position now because we'd be doing so much better with young people coming in and coaching them to get to a level. But it's like every good team in Europe only adds about 2 or 3 players every year. We've had to change our whole team and add 11 players into the team. So it might not even happen this year, but I think next year, if we keep those players, then we can actually do something.
Cheers, mate. Port Bear, last word.
Aye, cheers for having us on. Thanks for coming on, Jim. Again, good to hear you back. And again, it's pleasure as always, mate, to be on with you.
Yeah, mate. Enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it. Different insight. Everybody sees the game slightly different. Listen, thanks to Jim and Ross for joining us. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals and my mucker, Port Bear, for doing the show. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.